Welcome back, guys. Shuckle King here for my Brawl for All Round 5 bracket battles and team builders. I'll be quick with the team builders as well. So, my opponent for the round of 64 is Rijmel, and his team, from what I expect him to bring to least expect, is Weavile, Dragalge, Mantine, Mega Gallade, Heatran, Staraptor, Gliscor, and Barbaracle. Dragalge is a pretty good bring because it's a pretty good check to Tapu Koko, and it can take a hit if it's physically defensive from Hawlucha at +2. And I don't have the greatest Dragon switch in on this team, plus Poison, obviously, with Tapu Koko. Mantine is weird with Tapu Koko on my team, but it's a pretty good answer to Greninja. Honestly, I can expect like a Rain Dance set or like a Scarf set, believe it or not, could do pretty well against my team if he's like Choice Scarf and like Air Slash. That'll hurt everything. Again, Tapu Koko takes it on pretty well, but otherwise Mantine can be a nuisance. Don't really expect a Barbaracle at all. And Gliscor could certainly come. I don't think he really has that bad of a matchup with anything on his team, probably besides Barbaracle. So my team is going to be Tapu Koko, Hawlucha, Mega Medicham, Gligar, Uxie, and Greninja. I did not bring Blacephalon, Mantine, and Heatran kind of stop it pretty well, even Barbaracle to an extent. Weavile can Pursuit Trap me unless I'm Scarfed, and Scarf's not going to do much. Dragalge is also an issue, and Kamal I did not bring because it's bad. I found that out, but I'll talk about that later. First mon I have is Tapu Koko with Electrium Z, Max Speed, Max Special Attack. Max Speed actually allows me to outspeed Scarfed Mantine, which could be weird. But looking at the matchup, Water plus Flying does pretty good against my team. And I really don't need extra bulk. I mean, I also outspeed Weavile too, so I might as well outspeed Scarfed Mantine, I guess, in case that happens. Thunderbolt Volt Switch. He does not have an electric resist besides Gliscor, in which Hidden Power Ice is going to do a lot of damage to that. Electrium Z can get a really strong electric type attack off on like Heatran or Mega Gallade I'd expect to live a hit. Next I have Hawlucha with Electric Seed with enough speed to outspeed a Scarf to Weavile. Really, because why not? Might as well outspeed it if he's expecting to outspeed me because he's Scarfed and he assumes I have no speed investment. And a Scarfed Weavile could also do pretty well. Poison Jab to outspeed Koko. Ice Dab in general does pretty well. Greninja takes it on pretty well, but Weavile can have low kick, so I gotta watch out for that. But substitute on this Hawlucha is here for the Gliscor if it's gonna be Toxic, like Protect is the way to beat the Hawlucha. It's not gonna be with this set. And I don't need the additional damage from Drain Punch, or that high jump kick provides a Drain Punch doesn't, besides like a defensive Heatran. But I would imagine I could get a +2 up on like the Mantine, a -2 Dragalge, even a Mega Gallade. Next I have Mega Medicham, and he really has no switch into this. Drain Punch for the Weavile, for the Heatran, for the Staraptor, for the Barbaracle. Ice Punch nukes the Dragalge. It hits the Gliscor really hard. Psycho Cut hits the Dragalge even more. Also hits the Mantine, which I have Thunder Punch for as well. So Mantine probably should get a kill every time it comes in. Because it's defensive stuff, it's not going to be able to live whatever attack plus the super effective coverage I have for it. And the faster mons are not going to live any hits. Next I have Gligar. Interesting spread. No Roost. Earthquake, Stone Edge, U-Turn, Defog. Stone Edge with my spread will 2-hit KO Mantine after Rocks, which is cool, but I gotta hit 2 Stone Edges for that, which probably won't happen. U-Turn for Momentum. EQ also will allow me to kill a max HP Heatran, and I should be outspeeding it based on my speed. Next I have Uxie with facing the third Mega Gallade in a row here. Similar sets, max HP, max defense. I'm actually running 1 IV and a minus speed nature. Stealth Rock, Foul Play, Thunder Wave, Psychic. Thunder Wave the Weavile, or Thunder Wave the Mega Gallade. And I actually do add speed to Mega Gallade with my speed investment, or lack of speed investment. If I went 0 IVs, I would speed tie, which I don't want. But otherwise I want as slow of a move as possible because I don't want something else taking a hit. Psychic Kick there for the Dragalge. Foul Play the Mega Gallade. Last, I have Greninja with the interesting lead set. It'll be Protect, Low Kick, Ice Beam, Surf. I have Focus, Ash, Protect for the Weavile in case he's Fake Out plus Low Kick. That would be able to knock out my Greninja. With Protect, he will not be able to kill me in one move. And Protect also allows me to scout out any moves. I predict something's going to be Scarfed. Low Kick is there for the Weavile. Surf and Ice Beam hit everything else on the team besides the Mantine. I don't do much to Mantine, but I have enough mons on the team that I can handle it with really no problems. So let's see how well this team does in the match. Alright, as we can see from Rizmel's team, he does not bring Heatran, which I'm certainly happy about. Heatran's a good mon, so not having to deal with a good mon is always good, obviously. I do have answers for it, but not having to deal with it is great, and Barbarical did not come. Not surprised at all. As I said before, I was going to lead with Greninja, and as he leads with his Staraptor. So from here I can figure out what his set is. I don't have to worry about the lead Weavile matchup, but he goes for the U-turn and outspeeds me, so he's 100% Scarfed. I just go for the Ice Beam to try to get the kill. I freeze, which is a little bit unfortunate. I guess he could have predict around this a little bit more, but he's kind of forced to go for the Scald. But he'd probably go for the Scald anyway. So I'm going to switch right to my Tapu Koko, the big threat. And he's going to get out and go for the Scald, which is fine. I'm in a very easy way to predict Hidden Power Ice. I assume the Dragalge is going to come out, which is a pretty good middle play. Or if he's... see, if he goes into Gliscor and I go for the Hidden Power Ice, I'm going to 2-hit KO it. And if I go for the Thunderbolt, I'm automatically going to kill Mantine. So I assume he's going to go into Dragalge and just hit it as hard as possible based on my moveset, which is Hidden Power Ice. And I do a nice chunk to it. And I'm going to Volt Switch out and do even more damage. So I get about a third of the damage off on his Dragalge already, which is super nice. At this point, I'm going to go into Gligar because I predict him to go for the Toxic Spikes because that's what the last Dragalge did. And I'm going to defog these right away. I don't want to deal with them. He can get a free switch in, whatever. He goes into Mega Gallade. I have my counter to it is my Uxie. So but I go into Greninja just to sack it off because I don't want to get any chip damage off. And Greninja wasn't going to be doing a whole lot in this match, especially with the Mantine there. So Greninja goes down, going to Uxie, who's my dedicated Mega Gallade answer. And I can just go for the Thunder Wave and hope I hit. Go for the X-Scissor, which I kind of predicted in team prep. I guess Colbert Berry covers the Weavile a little bit better too, but it doesn't really matter. It's a 3-hit KO, so I'm definitely fine with this. I can get a Stealth Rock up, and then I can get a Foul Play as I died in this Mega Gallade, but it's severely weakened, and I'm definitely okay with this. And my Uxie wasn't going to really do a ton in this match anyway, besides get up rocks, and hopefully they're here to stay. So I go to my Medicham and get a free kill. He decides to sack off his Mega Gallade, which is definitely a good idea. And from here, he's got a free switch on the Staraptor, who can just safely Brave Bird. I'm going to go into my Gligar, because I can take 2 Brave Birds from full. And I take 47%, which is cool. And now I'm going to go for the Stone Edge and hope to 2-hit KO to Mantine that comes in. But he goes on a Weavile, which is really cool. I hit it, and I actually kill it. Based on what I expect his HP to be, it's probably about a 25 to 30% chance to 1-hit KO after rocks with Stone Edge. But it was a really, really big surprise on his part. And it really turned the tides into my favor. We were pretty even, I feel like, at this point. But without having that Weavile, it's a very, very nice benefit. So the Weavile is down. He's going to go into Mantine. I could 2-hit KO it, but I'm not going to risk that. I'm going to U-turn out and go into my Tapu Koko, who can handle this Mantine with no problems because he's a bulkier spread. Go for the Scald. Doesn't matter. I can either Volt Switch or Roost pretty easily, and I'm getting a little bit low, so it's probably my best interest to Roost, which I do. And at this point, he's going to just Scald and try to wear me down. He gets a crit. It matters a little bit because I'm definitely forced in a position to Roost, so he can probably get a free switch into Mantine or Gliscor or Dragalge, or which he does. So I Roost off, but I can Volt Switch out, go into my Gligar, and sack it. It's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch here and go into my Gligar, and he goes for the Draco Meteor. Draco Meteor was a weird play, just because I wasn't going to stay in my Coco. So I guess I wasn't going to go into Hawlucha. I probably wasn't going to go into Medicham. So my only play was really to go into Gligar. I probably would have either T-Spiked to wear down my Medicham or go for like Dragon Pulse, because going for the Draco Meteor allows me to get a free switch into my Hawlucha and get a Sword Stance up. Maybe he assumes that his Gliscor is 100% counter to it, so that's why he did that play. But at this point, I can go for the sub. And sub should be a pretty big issue, unless if he's a Aerial Ace, or I guess Facade with a good amount of attack. So I'm going to go for the Sword Stance on this, assuming he can't do much to me. He goes for the Tailwind, which definitely is interesting. But I do have a little bit of speed, so even if he is a little bit of speed investment to outspeed a no-speed Hawlucha, I will be able to outspeed him, which I do, and go for the Sword Stance here, as he goes for the Aerial Ace. So he does have it, which I'm fine with. I'm going to sub up, because I don't want the Staraptor to come in and outspeed and kill me. So keep Aerial Acing at this point. I'm going to just go for the Acrobatics, because I assume I kill, and then I should be able to sweep at that range. Let's see, he gets a crit with a quick attack from Staraptor. So I'm going to go for the Acrobatics, and he's actually max defense, max HP Gliscor, which is very interesting, but he actually lives this hit, which I was kind of surprised about. But he goes to Aerial Ace and is not able to kill me thanks to my +1 defense boost and my bulk, and he has no attack. So I'm able to actually Drain Punch. I knew I'd be able to kill, and I should be out of a range of a quick attack, again barring a crit. He goes into Staraptor. I'm not afraid of this at all. I know I outspeed. Go for the Drain Punch, kill it, and I should be able to kill the remainder of his team with Hawlucha. So he goes into Dragalge, and we're able to kill that with Acrobatics, and then we're able to kill the Mantine with Acrobatics. That's a good game, Ridgemill. That crit on the Weavile was pretty unfortunate. I think it could have gone either way if that crit didn't happen, but even if you were Life Orbed, it would have been a double down. And I still feel like I would have been in a pretty good situation, especially because my Medicham didn't do too much. But anyway, let's go on to the round of 32. Alright, here we are for the round of 32 against Lord Zidane. As you can see, his team that I feel like he's going to bring is Swampert, Ferrothorn, Mew, Mega Gallade, Electrode, Tyranitar, Silvally, and Noivern. I don't think he's bringing Noivern based on my team, but I feel like he could bring any combination of those 7. And I've had a pretty tough time trying to build a normal team around it, just because I was weak to either Mew or Mega Gallade or even Electrode. It's a problem just because of how speedy it is, plus with the electric train that Coco's going to give it. I had to come with somewhat of a cheesy team, so hopefully, or cheeky team, hopefully it works. So my team is Greninja, Gligar, Medicham, Coco, Hawlucha, Blacephalon. I did not bring Kamala because it's bad, and then I did not bring Uxie. I built 2 different teams actually, which is something I never do. In the one team I had, I did have Uxie over, I believe over Gligar or Blacephalon. I'm not sure. But the team I ended up with just didn't fit Uxie. So the first one I have is Greninja with Toxic Spikes, just because he has no way to handle that outside of Defog Silvally or Poison Silvally. And I don't think he's going to bring a Defog Mew. I'm pretty scared of Munium Z. Pretty much wrecks my team, because at +2 he'll outspeed my Hawlucha in the train unless I have a lot of speed on that. And Psychic plus whatever fighting move, I guess, to hit the Greninja shouldn't be that big of an issue. So Greninja was a must bring. Hidden Power Fire does like 40% to Pharaoh, which isn't much, but if I can chip that down a lot, it makes it easier for Coco to do well. Dark Pulse is there for the Mew if I have to try to hit it, and Grassland is there for the Swampert. Next I have Gligar, probably primarily just because of the Electrode, because I really had a hard time trying to build a team that wasn't terribly weak to Electrode. without having Yuxi or Komala, because both of them could handle it, but they were pretty passive and couldn't do much to his wall core, which is very good. So Gligar is here with Choice Scarf to add speed, the Electrode. Earthquake and Knockoff is there. For the Mew, it's not going to do much. It's really there to get the items off of Swampert and Ferrothorn. U-turn for Momentum and Rock Slide to hit the Noivern. Next I have Medicham with Max Attack, Max Speed to Speed tie Mew. If I get T-Spikes up plus High Jump Kick on the switch plus Double Edge, I should be able to knock out the Mew. Unless he's like Max HP, Max Defense, which in that case I'm not as threatened by it, just because Blacephalon and Tapu Koko and Greninja do very well against it. High Jump Kick plus Zen Headbutt do a lot of damage to his team. Double Edge is really only there for the Mew, and Recover just because I have a lot of risky moves to go for. And I feel like I can get Recovers off in the Ferrothorn or the Swampert. Even a Tyranitar, if it wants to preserve itself to try to handle my Blacephalon. I can recover on the switch. Next I have Coco, Dazzling Gleam, Volt Switch, Grass Knot, Hidden Power Fire. Hidden Power Fire for the Thero, Grass Knot for the Swampert, Volt Switch for General Momentum, and I don't think I need the additional damage from Thunderbolt, and Dazzling Gleam is there for the Tyranitar. Straightforward. Next I have Hawlucha. Well, I guess Tapu Koko is going to get worn down pretty easily, so that's something to take note of. I got to be careful with Koko. Next I have Hawlucha with a Taunt, Swords Dance, Drain Punch, Acrobatics, and with the speed I will outspeed Munium Z Mew with a +2 Rock Polish. Swords Dance, Drain Punch, Acrobatics, Drain Punch really for the Tyranitar. Everything, and the Ferrothorn to an extent. Everything else the Acrobatics will do decent damage to. And Taunt is there for like a Roar Swampert in case he wants to do that. So he'll be able to live a +2 Acrobatics. I am risking the Skull Burn, however. And last I have Blacephalon. Leftovers with enough speed to outspeed a Mew. Sub, Fire Blast, Shadow Ball, Hidden Power, Grass. Grass for the Swampert. Shadow Ball hits the Mew. Fire Blast hits Ferrothorn, Mega Galley, Electrode. The defense gives me a better than 50-50 chance to live a Foul Play from Full from Electrode. And also allows me to live like a Pursuit if I don't switch out from a Tyranitar. It's not that good. But Blacephalon is really pretty hard countered by Tyranitar. But hopefully I can wear it down with Substitute plus Leftovers plus T-Spikes. To a point where Tapu Koko can revenge kill it pretty easily. Really, Tyranitar is only there for the Blacephalon, and I'm pretty sure he's going to bring it for that reason. But Blacephalon does so well otherwise that it'd be kind of tough not to bring. So that's my team. Let's see how well it does in the match.
All right, here we are for the game against Lord Zedden. He brings the Mew, Mega Gallade, Tyranitar, Swampert, Ferrothorn, and Electrode. I'm not too surprised about the mons that he brought. I didn't think he was going to bring Noivern. And Valley could have came to as a Defogger. So that does make it a little bit nice for Greninja to get up Toxic Spikes. Though Mew can definitely be a defensive mon to kind of handle my fighting types with Defog, so I gotta watch out for that. So I'll hop right into the match, and I'm gonna try to take advantage of no grounded poisons by going with Toxic Spike Greninja. Now, Electrode, I have a little bit of trouble with it actually because I don't have Kamala and Yuxi, which are my two most reliable special defensive Pokemon. I knew I was going to struggle with this based on the team I brought. I had a secondary team with Yuxi that would have handled Electrode better, but it was weaker to other mons on his team. So I do have the Sash. I'm pretty safe to just get my Toxic Spikes up so he goes for a Thunderbolt. I'm expecting it to be a Life Orb or Choice Specs. Life Orb just because that would do a lot of damage to a Gligar with Hidden Power Ice, and Choice Specs just to take advantage of the electric terrain. So I kind of make a pretty bad play here next. I'm going to go into my Gligar predicting that he is Specs as he does not reveal any Life Orb damage. So I'm going to go right into that. I also want to preserve my Greninja for the Mew. In case he is a Z-move Mew, I don't want that to set up Genesis Supernova and just wreck my team that way with a Rock Polish. So I'm going to have that in the background just in case. But he goes for the Hidden Power Ice, showing that he is not Choice Specs or Locked In or Life Orb. Could be a focus sash lead, he could be other stuff too. I'm not sure, but he definitely caught me off surprise, maybe even expert belt. But I wasn't going to live that hidden power ice because I was choice scarf. So that really put me back. I don't have any mons on this team that can one-hit KO this Electrode besides like a Medicham that's going to take a ton of damage from a Thunderbolt plus Aftermath damage, and a Blacephalon has a chance to be knocked out with a Foul Play, which I'm suspecting that he's going to run. So I am going to go into my Tapu Koko just to try to do as much damage to this as possible, and also kind of predicting him to go into Swampert. So I'm going to go for the Grass Knot, because I'm not going to be able to knock it out with any one move. But he goes for the Gigavolt Havoc, so he is not Z Mew. I was very surprised to see Z Electrode in this match, but it kind of makes sense just because he's going to be able to kill Gligar fairly easily. I mean, if I were especially defensive, he wouldn't be able to knock me out with a Hidden Power Ice or just even Eviolite. So it was a little bit risky, but I thought Mew with a Rock Polish and a Munium Z would just wreck my team. So I'm a little bit surprised, but I'm going to find out just because he is not Munium Z. I'm going to sack off my Greninja because it's not as important. Gets up a Reflect, which is very, very annoying. But it was a good play predicting it. I wasn't going to let my Koko go down because my Hawlucha is my win con at this rate. I'm going to go into Blacephalon to somewhat scare out the Electrode. If I'm Scarfed, I'm going to be able to knock it out, get a +1 Beast Boost, which even then isn't that big of a problem just because he has Tyranitar that 100% counters it. But I'm fine with that. I'm going to go and just go for the Shadow Ball and try to knock up a kill. Don't want to miss a Fire Blast. And he goes into Tyranitar and it does nothing. Could be a Salt Vest, but I'm not sure. I can just go for the Substitute and just wear down this Tyranitar as much as possible. Not because I need this Tyranitar low. I mean, I have a Medicham and Hawlucha, and even Koko, if it's weakened a little bit, can take it out with a Dazzling Gleam or Grass Knot. But I need the Reflect out of the way. That's the bigger issue here than the actual Tyranitar. And Blacephalon's not going to be doing a ton in this match. I also predicted he could be pursued and could go for that any time, so it's kind of in a tough spot for me to try to switch out at this rate. Just try to weaken it as much as possible, just keep going for the subs, and then after this, I'm going to just attack what's in front of me and get the Tyranitar super low. The Sand will be gone, and the Reflect is gone, which is very nice. So as we see here, go for the Hidden Power Grass. Does 20% with a special defense drop. Absolutely nothing. And Tyranitar picks up the kill here. So at this point, I'm going to go into my Medicham and just go for the high jump kick kill here. And at this point, I still feel like I have a pretty decent chance just because I am able to 2-hit KO a Mew as long as he's not that bulky with a double edge, and I don't know if he's going to be expecting that. And he's not a Z, or the Genesis Supernova Z move with Mew, so that's definitely not as threatening. So he brings in the Electrode. I'm going to just go for the kill that's in front of me. He's not going to be able to kill me with any one move. He goes for the Reflect, go for the Zen Headbutt, and I actually don't kill, which is great because I don't take Aftermath damage because the Toxic will, or the Poison will kill him there. And he goes into the Mew. So that's a little bit threatening with a Mew behind a Reflect. I did consider putting a Substitute over Recover on this set, which would have been kind of nice here to break down the Reflect, but that's alright. So I go for the Double Edge. It does decent damage, but he goes for the Trick Room. And that's very problematic for my team, because he's going to be able to kill the remaining 3 Mons on my team potentially. So I feel like my best chance to try to get this win is hopefully that he's not Nasty Plot and just recover as he goes for Psychic, which should do about 50-ish%. So I'll be able to eventually remove the Reflect and get rid of the Trick Room. If he is like a Recover set and he goes for it at any point, that would be super annoying, but I feel like that's my best chance to win is if he's not Nasty Plot and does not go for a Recovery move. So he does actually go for the Nasty Plot as I just keep recovering, hoping that he was going to attack me, which he does not. He's able to knock me out with a Psychic here, and I won't be able to do anything at this range. I don't have a priority on a Hawlucha, which I think it's faint, but it wasn't going to kill anybody at this range. So I am able to not pull this out. I got to the round of 32, which was little bit disappointing because I got to the round of 16 last year. Though I felt like I didn't have the greatest matchups you saw in the team builder. Halucha did pretty well against this team, but this Mew, again, is a super big problem. And I didn't have the greatest answers to it because Blacephalon was pretty hard countered by the Tyranitar. So that'll be my Brawl for Hull round 5 there. Quick team summary. I got Tapu Koko. I really like that. I feel like it's really busted just because with the with Z moves, with the Z Guardians of Alola to bring any mon down to 75% of its health lost. You can basically remove any counters to the electric types. And if you can bring like multiple electrics, most common with like a Alolan Raichu with the speed ability, it makes it super good. I got Blacephalon, which is a good value at tier 2. If it was like tier 1A or tier 1B, I would not draft it, just because it's very limited with its move pool. Like, I had absolutely nothing to try to do to Tyranitar. I couldn't even run Hidden Power Fighting just because we had IVs work in 7th gen. But it's decent for a tier 2 Ghost and Fire with really strong stabs. Halucha, also pretty good as a tier 2, especially with the terrain. It's really busted, especially if you have like max HP. You can with Taunt Roost, you could stall out defensive teams and set up pretty easily. With offensive teams, you can get that speed so quickly and pretty free, and you can sweep teams pretty easily in that regard. So Halucha is great. Uxie, I really like Uxie. It's a tier 3B as opposed to like a lot of leagues having around tier 4, but I still feel like it's pretty good value at tier 3B. Very fast for a wall, which is cool. It lives basically any hit you want it to, and has a pretty nice offensive move pool. I didn't really utilize that a ton, but it's pretty cool. I mean, because I had to face 3 or 4 Mega Gallades, it was basically my Mega Gallade answer. Greninja, it's pretty okay. It's a tier 2B. Z-moves just gives it so much more versatility than without Z-moves like what I had on my team. But it's nice because ground types can come in the electrics, obviously, so Greninja threatened out all ground types basically, so it's a good opportunity to get spikes, toxic spikes, U-turn for momentum. Greninja is very cool. Metacham, excellent for a tier 1 Mega. There's really not many switch-ins to this at all. Like that Mew, it would have been 2-hit KO'd by Double Edge if he didn't have the Reflect Up. Gligar, as a tier 4, it's good. It's a decent pivot. The 4 times weak to ice is pretty sucky, but it can get toxic, which is really nice for a wall. Has Baton Pass, which is a pretty cool tech I didn't really use much. And he has a more versatility than I feel like people give it credit for, like running a Choice Scarf, the Gligar, which did not work because it was a bad play on my part. But anyway, and Kamala, it's not really a Pokemon. It's garbage, even as a tier 5B. I couldn't really use it to rapid spin at all. It has okay attack, has okay bulk, has really low base HP though. And if you're going to invest in your defenses, it really can't hit hard at all. I guess it's cool it can't be statused, but it's really not any good. I would not draft that at all. But that's my team recap for a Brawl for All round 5. Stick around for some future videos. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Later, guys.